Small part with a big job. The mass airflow sensor, or MAF for short. This little guy lives under your hood and measures how much air goes into your engine. Why is that important? Because your engine needs the perfect mix of air and fuel to run smoothly. Too little air, and you're running rich. Too much, and you're running lean. Either way, it's bad news for your engine's performance and your gas mileage. Think of the MAF sensor as the lungs of your car. It helps your engine breathe just right. A faulty MAF sensor can lead to all sorts of problems. Rough idling, stalling, poor acceleration, and even decreased fuel efficiency. Nobody wants that. So if your car's acting up, a faulty MAF sensor could be the culprit. Luckily, testing your MAF sensor is a job you can tackle yourself. With a few simple tools and a bit of know-how, you'll be able to diagnose the problem and get your car back in tip-top shape. In the next few sections, we'll walk through the process step by step, so grab your toolbox and let's get started. Before we dive into the nitty-gritty of testing your MAF sensor, let's make sure we're all geared up and working safely. Safety always comes first in the garage. We don't want any accidents or injuries, so make sure you have the following safety glasses. Protect those peepers from flying debris. Work gloves. Keep your hands clean and safe from sharp edges. OBD2 scanner. This handy tool will help us read any trouble codes stored in your car's computer. Digital multimeter. We'll use this components here. Always disconnect the negative battery cable before you start working on your car's electrical system. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now that we're all prepped and ready to go, let's locate that MAF sensor. Pop open your hood and take a look around. The MAF sensor is usually located in the air intake duct, between the air filter and the throttle body. It looks like a small cylinder with an electrical connector on one side. Once you've found it, disconnect the electrical connector. You can usually do this by pressing down on a tab and gently pulling the connector away from the sensor. Now carefully remove the MAF sensor from the air intake duct. It's usually held in place with a couple of screws or clamps. With the MAF sensor in hand, give it a good visual inspection. Check for any obvious signs of damage like cracks, burns, or bent pins on the connector. Also, take a look at the sensing element inside the sensor. It should be clean and free of dirt, oil, or debris. Before we break out the multimeter, let's see if our car's computer has anything to tell us. Connect your OBD2 scanner to the diagnostic port under your dashboard. This port is usually located on the driver's side beneath the steering wheel. With the scanner connected, turn your car's ignition to the on position, but don't start the engine. Now use your scanner to check for any stored trouble codes related to the MAF sensor. These codes can vary depending on the make and model of your car, but they usually start with P0100 and relate to issues with the MAF sensor circuit, performance, or rationality. If you see any MAF-related codes, make a note of them. These codes can provide valuable clues about what might be wrong with your sensor. Even if you don't find any codes, it's still a good idea to continue with the next steps to verify that your MAF sensor is functioning correctly.